Alright guys, so the initial plan for today's video was I was going to come in here and solo the Redworm here in Season 5 and just kind of see if the initial way to get this guy dealt with was still working. Then we were going to go on in and do the Season 3 Reloaded Elder Dark Aether. Well, we technically still did do these things, but there's going to be a little bit of a twist. We had somebody show up as soon as we were getting ready to start the Redworm fight, and let's just say this did not go how I foresaw it going. Now, while I may not be the absolute best zombie player in the world, hopefully we can give you guys some tips and tricks today to make you guys some better MW3 zombies players and maybe just some better Call of Duty zombie players in general. With that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. Appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, rock the hell out of that like button for me and subscribe to the channel, guys. Just hit our massive goal of 20,000 subscribers and we're already on the road to 22,000, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the love and support. We definitely got a crazy one for you guys today. We definitely did a lot in this video, and I can't wait to go over everything with you guys after a brief word from today's sponsor. If you guys want to unlock the new Mark of the Survivor camo, or possibly even any of those get higher camos here in Modern Warfare 3, and you really just don't have the time to put in to get these challenges done, well then be sure to check out Midge Cactus. They're the biggest and most reliable sellers with heaps of brand new offerings for MW3 with completely safe and legitimate services for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And with all the great reviews on Trustpilot, you guys should definitely check them out. Be sure to use code REALG for 5% off your entire order for a limited time only. Now, a subscriber recently left me a comment, and what you guys are seeing right here is he actually told me, and if this is true, this is one of the most clutchest comments I've ever gotten. Basically, he said that if you end up killing the Stormcaller before you go and fight the Redworm, then none of the bosses are going to end up spawning it. Meaning that usually when you would have a bunch of Manglers and Disciples and everything else and Mimics that are all chasing you, even sometimes a Mega Abomination can spawn in. Apparently, if you end up killing this Stormcaller first, it'll just wipe out all those guys. So all you're going to have to deal with when you're fighting the Redworm is only zombies. Guys, I'm honestly really pleasantly surprised to say I'm pretty sure this actually works, because I don't think any bosses spawned in when I was fighting this Redworm at all. Setting up this Redworm fight is actually pretty damn easy. I'm going to throw up this map up on the screen right here, which is going to show you guys all of the locations for everything that you need to know for setting up this Redworm fight. It's going to show you where the locations are that you can go to actually locate your USBs in the map. It's also just going to show you where all of the USBs can spawn in, and even where just all of the Redworm fights can be. Basically anything that you guys are going to need to know is going to be on this map. So big shout out to MWZHUB.gg for putting together these maps. They honestly do amazing work. And also we're going to be using the VR11, and this is still confirmed to probably be one of the absolute best weapons that you guys can use to fight this Redworm. As soon as we were getting ready to start this thing, the storm was rolling in and I was getting ready to insert the USBs. I ended up having a solo player ended up walking up and wanting to do the Redworm fight with me. At first I was just a little bit irritated because I was like, I wanted to do it solo, I want to do it for the video and everything, but then I like, you know what, I'm being a little bit selfish. Maybe this guy still needs schematics or whatever, so I'm like, alright, you know what, let's do it. While I was inserting my USBs, I kind of noticed that he inserted one while I inserted three, and I'm like, alright, we're probably off to a little bit of a bad start already. The thing I noticed is that he only put down one sentry gun, and he's also using a regular weapon, like he's not using a wonder weapon of any kind. I get about a quarter of the way through the fight, through fighting this Redworm, I'm shooting at him and everything, and then all of a sudden I noticed this guy's not even in the football field with me. He's actually staying outside of the football field. But taking this thing back, just by the off chance that I wasn't going to do the Redworm in this match, and if this player was attempting to do this Redworm solo, even if he did have all four of the USBs, I can already well predict what was going to happen if I wasn't here for this Redworm fight. I have a feeling this guy probably would have tried to set it up. He would have put down one sentry gun, ran around, tried to shoot it with the regular gun, got scared, and then would have tried to either run away and go to the exfil, or he would have ended up died attempting to do the Redworm. This is just kind of a mixture of things. I think it's a little bit of lack of confidence, and then also just not being fully prepared and bringing in the right things for the fight. Now, while soloing the Redworm with a regular gun is possible, and there is a few guns in the game that you can do this with, but it does take quite a bit more skill and it takes a lot more time. If you're trying to solo the Redworm with a regular gun, like with an SMG or a battle rifle or an AR, just anything of those sorts, you really have to be continuously moving and getting close to the Redworm and shooting at it the entire time, constantly picking up ammo, constantly going back and forth to the ammo refill stations. It's usually just a very slow chipping away process when you're using a regular gun. With the VR11, you can actually see the huge chunks of health just fall off of this Redworm. So just a couple of things, if you guys are planning on doing this solo, a few things that I would recommend that you guys do is, number one, bring in the VR11. That's going to be like the number one best weapon for you guys to use for like damage wise against this thing. Secondly, if you can, the golden armor is going to help you out a whole lot, because believe believe it or not, it is really hard to just be constantly picking up armor throughout this entire fight. Sure to bring in a couple of self-revives because you absolutely never know what's going to happen. Even I was being dumb and I walked right into a lightning bolt symbol. I even saw it on the ground, but you know, we're all human, we all make dumb mistakes sometimes. That's why I just say be prepared and bring in a couple of self-revives. And lastly, if you're fighting the Redworm, one of the things that's going to help you out a lot, and not even just for damaging the Redworm, is bring in sentry guns, at least 3 of them. Each player can bring in 3 of these things. The sentry guns really won't be doing very much damage to the Redworm. They're honestly going to be clearing out all the zombies that are going to be chasing you, which is going to be making your job in here a whole lot easier. And since this guy only had 1 of these things, it wasn't going to be helping him out very much at all. When you guys are doing fights like this Redworm here, and this goes for solo players and even people like on teams and whatnot, you'll eventually find your own like rhythm and flow for like non-stop moving, dodging the zombies and bosses and stuff, and consistently shooting at the Redworm. This is the biggest thing about Modern Warfare Zombies that I think a lot of players really fall victim to. They just get way too over-focused on just killing the zombies and everything else that is chasing them. You guys have to remember, as long as you're not carrying too heavy of a weapon, you are faster than everything in this game. Especially if you have stamina up, the only thing that is going to be faster than you is the super sprinter zombies. Those are honestly really easily dealt with just like 2 shots to the head. Everything else can honestly be avoided or outran, or you can even just toss decoys out and distract them all. Main focus in Modern Warfare Zombies should be less on actually killing the zombies and more focused on just getting the objective done. One thing that Modern Warfare Zombies absolutely does not care about, because it's not kill based whatsoever in anything that it does, doesn't matter how many zombies that you kill, you will never kill them all. It will continuously always spawn in more zombies on you, especially if you're doing something that is really objective heavy that causes these things to spawn in. Say like you're doing any of the escort missions, and this can go for being on the big map or being inside of any of the dark ethers. You stray too far away from the escort is going to stop moving, and the zombies are just going to continuously keep on spawning in and surrounding you. You can keep killing the zombies forever, but guess what? You're never actually going to be completely safe from them. You're going to have to actually get back to the ACV and keep it moving. So you can kind of use that analogy for all of Modern Warfare Zombies. That goes for the Redworm or for any other contract or anything that you're trying to get done. After defeating the Redworm, I ended up setting a party invite to this guy, and I took him into the Season 3 Reloaded Elder Dark Aether with me, where this was a little bit of a struggle for him, I could kind of tell. Now, while we were able to successfully get all 3 of these contracts in here done, I don't think this guy actually grabbed anything out of any of the rifts at all. Now, I really did try to help. Like, I tried tossing out decoys, I tried killing a bunch of the mimics and just zombies, just trying to let him grab something out of these rifts. I just don't think he could do it. The key here is just being fast, guys. You just gotta walk up there, you gotta open that rift and grab whatever you need and grab and go. It's just honestly about the best way that I can put it in here. I mean, especially when you're inside of this dark ether in particular, you need to really not stop moving. Only times I really think that you should be standing still is when you're doing the escort mission and you're on top of the thing, but even then you should be moving around and shooting zombies and just doing whatever you can. But eventually, after so long, I was like, alright, we need to start moving this thing along or else we're not going to have enough time to get all these contracts done. So I eventually just started the Outlast contract, and when I was in here running around after activating the P&D, I noticed he wasn't in here with me again. He was actually standing on top of the little silos just outside of the contract, and I guess he was shooting at the zombies that were in here, but honestly, with that regular gun, I don't even know if it's fully packed or anything. He wasn't really doing anything, let's just say that. Honestly, if I was this guy, what you guys would want to do in this particular situation is honestly try to get inside of the contract with me, even if you think that you're going to go down. I mean, even just being in there, being a little bit more of a distraction and actually helping me shoot the zombies would have been a little bit more helpful. Trust me, if you're with a more decent zombies player, like if you can tell that they're actually a little bit more of a better player, they're not just going to leave you in there down and leave you for dead. Like they will pick you up and help you throughout this thing. But again, with the Outlast contract, we kind of found ourselves in a similar situation where I noticed he was continuously trying to run up to the thing and just grab something out of there. I just don't think he was able to, just being too concerned with killing the zombies that were all around. I know, especially here inside of the Season 3 Dark Aether, this one can be really intimidating because this Dark Aether in particular throws a lot of zombies at you. Like, it is not, I don't necessarily know how to put this, it's not very new player friendly, and it's just the amount of zombies that this Dark Aether throws at you is just absolutely relentless. I did notice through the majority of the escort contract, he did pretty much stay by my side and on top of the ACV almost through the entirety of the contract. I did notice right at the end, once we got to the bridge and things started getting really hectic, he ended up jumping off the side of the bridge. If he was by himself and he didn't have the VR11, this ACV would have been instantly destroyed. It really didn't surprise me at all, considering every contractor, every mission that we've done so far, he's just kind of been hanging around on the outside and not really being involved very much. That would just be one of my other tips, is to just really don't be afraid to get in there. Just get involved, start shooting zombies. Just don't stray too far away from the objective or your teammates. Just remember that this is Modern Warfare Zombies, where you will never kill all of the zombies. It's not really like round-based where you can kill all the zombies and just leave a crawler or two so you can easily walk around and do stuff. This game really wants you to just stay objective focused. We got this contract done and I started heading on my way over to the exfil, and then I had noticed he ended up going down on the bridge, probably trying to grab stuff out of the rift. So of course, you know, we had to go back and get him. This guy, even on our way over to the exfil again, he tried shooting one of the eggs to start the Easter egg. Man, I appreciate the ambition, but we only had like less than 2 minutes left to get out of this thing. We're not gonna finish that fight in time. This was definitely a really interesting run, guys. I can now confirm that the VR11 is still the best way to solo the Redworm. I mean, we're probably gonna come back in here so we can actually do it solo. I can also confirm that using the VR11 is probably still the quickest way to kill that Stormcaller. We killed him in like, what, three or four shots? Ended up dropping the Scorcher schematic for this guy, which he jumped up and down a few times, so it looked like he was pretty damn happy to get that. Ended up dragging this other player through the Elder Dark Aether, and you know, I think it might have been a little bit of a rough experience for them, but hey, we ended up getting through it. Hopefully, maybe if they see this video, or just next time when they come in here and try to do this, just be a little bit more prepared. Try it with bring in all those sentry guns, maybe try the Redworm with the VR11 and not a regular gun. Really get involved with the fight. Also, just make sure that you have plenty of self revives and everything, because you will mess up. Guaranteed you guys might even fail a time or two. Just keep on trying and eventually you will get it. Crazy thing is, once you do get it, it'll just kind of click. It's kind of like riding a bike. It's just something that you just do naturally. I think that is about it, guys. I truly do appreciate everybody that took the time out of the day to watch the video. It truly does mean the world to me. Drop a like on it if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.